Ladies and gentlemen, what's happening? It's your boy, Hannibal Callens.
And I am Giancarlo Alberti.
Yeah. Canceled. Done. Right there.
Welcome to the We'll Name It Later podcast, which is not the name of this podcast.
Right. So I'm definitely not going to cancel that order of shirts I already had shipped just in case we couldn't come up with something. I'm going to, I don't have to cancel no orders.
I just hope you didn't really make that order.
No, man, no.
Canceling.
What do you mean cancel? I'm outside. No, just put them in the bushes. All right, just put them in the bushes. You still gotta pay me. I'll pay you. Just get out of here. Knock on the door.
I'll pay you in fake advertisement.
Right. Look, look. We'll put you on the part as a fake advertiser. Just leave them outside. All right. Sure.
Welcome, guys. We're so thankful you guys are tuning in for episode 2, man.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Before we even start, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you give us that thumbs up. And if you want to give us a thumbs down, hey man, just leave a comment. Let us know.
Tell us
wrong.
Tell us what we're able to improve, and as long as it's legitimately criticism,
right,
and isn't racist, then we'll see what we can do, because hey, this is a learning project. You know, we're learning, we're growing together, and we're doing this together. And best of all, we don't want it to just be us two. We want to make it grow with you.
Absolutely, man.
So,
we want to grow with the people that support us and give us well thought out feedback, because we're really trying to make this work, man.
Yeah. And so that's the name of the game, and we're just really excited for you guys to go on this road with us too, because as we start to figure out what direction we're going in, we all get to have a better ride together.
Absolutely. So guys, we have a couple things we got to talk about.
Oh my goodness,
we've got some exciting stuff to talk to you guys today.
Oh man,
where should we start?
Oh, I have absolutely no idea if we should start with story time or build the hype and get to story time.
Let's build it up.
Let's build it up.
Because
okay.
I really, and this is for the audience, please help me out with this. I really want this particular story to kind of build up as like one of the things that is talked about within this podcast. Because I want to keep hyping it up, because I want to bring the people in here.
Right.
I want to bring the people here, and I want that to be a spectacular.
Right. I want people to be like, yo, that's damn dog. Like, yo. Oh, my goodness, dude. So, yeah, I like that. So, first and foremost, man.
You have anything going on?
Let me see. This is as... It's not really that important, but and this will make sense once we end up telling our story. But spoilers, a headliner by the name of Mike Rivera, who's been very proud of my progress.
Shout out to Mike, man.
Yes, thank you, Mike Rivera, who's been a big supporter of my work, and we had the pleasure of getting to work together at a comedy show. And while we were there, he ended up talking to me, whatever, and then he reached out to me a couple of days later.
Mm-hmm.
There's a comedy club out in Palm Bay. It's about 2 hours away, but he was like, hey, look, you come out on Friday. They're doing 2 shows. Do these 2 shows. I'm going to have the manager watch you and have you audition for them so you can get opportunity to do work. They'll hopefully, book me to host, and then hopefully really soon, especially with Mike Rivera putting in a good word. I think actually, oh my God, I think Mike Rivera won a competition and was labeled like the funniest teacher in America.
Shout out to Mike.
Yeah,
bro.
Mike Rivera's no joke, boy.
Bruh.
No joke at all. And when you see this episode, look the heck up out of him, because he's been a major supporter of me, and I want everybody who supports me.
Super chill dude, man.
Yeah,
great people.
Great guy.
Great people.
Great guy. So, yeah, I'm going to be driving out to Palm Bay to do a couple of shows. If you're in the Palm Bay area, those shows will already be done before you see this episode.
Right.
But I'm gonna act like they're not. Come on now, I'm gonna be at Snappers. In fact, if all goes well, I'll be doing more shows there because of these shows. So that's what I got coming up. Other than that, I don't have any shows lined up yet, but I got a lot of stuff that's on the burner. I just gotta make some. I gotta make some phone calls.
Yeah,
make some phone calls and make some stuff move. But yeah, how about you? You got any projects that you're
well, other than this wonderful project we have going on, I'm actually I have a mini story that I can tell you. So I'm gonna start it with this. My dad, my father, my birth creator.
You have a dad?
I have a father. What? He actually not too long ago. It'll be a little bit longer once this podcast comes in. But he went viral.
Your dad went viral?
My dad went viral.
Wait, what? Your dad went viral?
So check this out. My dad is my dad knows a lot of people in PR. If for all of you guys that don't know or didn't notice with my Puerto Rican shirt the other episode, I'm from Puerto Rico, and basically my whole family's from there. But my dad, you know, he knows a lot of people in PR.
I thought you were from Jersey. What the heck?
Jersey.
I thought you were from Jersey. What the? Man, the guy's got a dad. He's Puerto Rican. What? I'm learning everything today.
And you're my best friend. So.
Right. Oh, my God. Oh. Oh my
Cherish the love we have. Hannibal, cherish the love.
Okay, we might get sued.
Strike. We'll edit this out. But yeah, so long story short, my dad comes across a really old friend, and I'm talking 25 to 30 years since he's seen his friend.
Oh, since he's seen the guy.
Since he's seen his friend. He used to work for my dad in one of the first kind of American-styled restaurants back in PR.
Oh, wow.
But the dude's now an influencer.
Oh,
Dude's super influencer into like the urban, like Spanish urban community. And he has like over 160,000 subscribers on YouTube. The dude is very well known in the Puerto Rican and Latino community. For all the people watching, his name is Javier de Jesus. If you're watching this, Javier, shout out. Thank you for everything that you do for us. And just learning from you is a trip. But yeah, so my dad reached out to him and said, hey, I don't know if you remember me, blah, 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 blah. But it's been such a long time. I kind of wanted to get talked. Dude, the dude responded like that.
Wow.
Dude responded on the spot with a voice, man. He's like, oh my God, Tony, you're the best. Blah, blah, blah. Ended up meeting up with us.
Why he came out to here?
He lives here.
Oh,
so
okay.
he lives here.
In Florida.
In Florida. He lives in Florida. Managed to come to our house one day. I think this was like a couple days ago. And he came in with his whole like equipment, like recording and everything. Dude interviewed my dad on the spot. Yeah. On like the ideologies of being in the restaurant business, and my dad's been in that industry God knows how long.
Yeah.
So he's really well known into that, and he basically interviewed him. He gave him a big ups and like tried to tell the crowd who he was, where he's been, all the people he knows, all the stuff he's done for the Puerto Rican community back in PR. But the dude interviewed him, and it was a great interview. But dude ended up being he posted the video on YouTube. Dude is right now, I want to say 15,000 views.
Wow.
Yeah.
When was it? When did he post it?
I want to say last week. I'll send you the video.
Yeah.
But now my dad is like he wants to work with my dad because he's looking to open up some sort of restaurant business. If you want to know what type of business it is, you're gonna have to watch his videos. But the dude is like, he is taking dad and gonna. So they're doing big things. But I was so proud because my dad. You know my dad. My dad is the type of person that he doesn't even use his phone. So like you could call him 50,000 times. I could be in jail and call my dad, and that man will not even know he called you.
Dude,
I called him.
Oh my God, it was so funny, man, because Giancarlo and I have been long-standing friends. I'm not gonna go on too long about this, but to make a very long story short, which I just realized, man, we're gonna have to talk about you. Your adventure to Jersey. We got to talk about your time.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
So Giancarlo ended up moving to Jersey while we were in high school, moved away. He came back years and years later. He left the boy, came back to Miami. And anyway, it was funny when I went to his house the first time I met his dad. I'm talking to his dad, and his dad goes like, his dad says something to me and goes like this. And his dad like talks to me like this. And he goes like that. And I was like, yo, this is Giancarlo. I was like, dude.
This is the birthright.
Dude, it's like seeing somebody use a kung fu style, and then you go to the dojo and you see the master do it. I'm like, yo, this guy is him. So much of Giancarlo's swag comes from this man, who's just got character. I mean, such a good.
We gotta bring him in one time,
dude. Oh my,
we gotta bring him in one time
for real, man.
But
yeah, go ahead. Back
no. Yeah, it was just like it was such a surreal moment. At least me seeing as the son for my dad. Because he has like no idea. I feel like during the interview and being recorded, he had no idea what was really about to happen. But he was so smooth talking about what he knows, giving the crowd advice. Just like it was like second nature for this man.
Of course.
Smooth as a cat.
Of course.
And this guy killed it, bro. And then like as soon as that video blew up, he kept getting phone calls from people he didn't even heard from in years.
Now they know him.
So shout out, Dad, if you see this, I'm so proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Oh,
that's my man.
Look at that.
That's my man.
Whole team coming up,
bro.
We're gonna have to get your dad on the podcast, get some of them viewerships.
100%.
100%.
Maybe he can give us a non-fake advertisement.
Dude, we might be able to get a real oh my god, sponsor.
Real sponsor.
We might be able to get a real sponsor. Yo, it'd be funny because that'll be the one episode that's completely in Spanish, and I'm not gonna know.
You're not. Yo, it is 100% Spanish.
I'm just in there like, me gusta papa fritas, man.
I'm pretty sure he said papa fritas in the interview.
He probably, well, restaurant. This is funny. I was cracking that joke, but actually, yeah, papa fritas is French fries for anyone who might not be as cultured as your boy. But yeah, so that's.
But yeah, it was a really interesting moment, and I'm just proud.
Wow.
I'm just really proud for the boy.
Wow, dude. Let's go, dude.
Yeah, so that ended up happening this week. Besides projects, I am working on a couple music projects that I'll probably throughout this podcast will probably be dishing out. So keep an eye on those things. But besides that, I don't really got a lot going on, man.
Cool.
I don't really got a lot going on. What else? Good. What else we got?
So let's see. Other things we got to talk about. We got, man, just the way the world's moving. Topics are turning around so fast. Yeah. I really want to talk about the. I would really like to get into the whole thing with Quavo and Saweetie just a little bit. I mean, because that whole elevator
we definitely got to talk about
that elevator scene is gonna be a big deal. I'm pretty sure, even by the time this episode gets out.
Yeah, it'll still be hot news. Did you just do that?
I totally burped. I'm so sorry.
I hope the camera caught it. I hope the audio caught it.
I pray to Almighty White God that it did not.
Almighty White God. I pray for the Almighty Black God.
Right. Same there. Let's go. 50. G-Unit. Strike. G-Unit. I don't know what you heard about me, but you can't get $1 out of me. You just imagine a church full of, this would be so much funnier before Kanye did what he did. Because now you think about it, Kanye turning and doing the whole thing with church and making church super big with his hip hop. Yeah. Now makes that whole idea like, well, Kanye did it. Kanye's the Simpsons. Kanye's the Simpsons.
Exactly. And he's got to pay that crew, but we'll talk about that in the podcast.
Yeah. I have no idea what you're
Saweetie and Quavo, man, we briefly talked about it off air, but to be honest with you, man, it's just not looking for culture. It's not looking good for Culture 3.
Dude, yeah.
It's not looking good for Culture 3, bro.
Dude, I'm like, it sucks too, because it's like, a lot of times, it's just what I think about all the time. It's a lot of times, man, we be basing how we see relationships off of relationships that can be super toxic.
Yeah,
and not good for anyone, man. Now, I don't know a lot about Quavo or Saweetie, but I have heard people say, yo, man, like Quavo and Saweetie, they were relationship goals. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
A lot of people did.
Cause, bro, I mean, if you haven't seen the video, dog, we let's see. Do you want to act like we're gonna play it? No, we ain't
gonna play it.
Because I was gonna be like, yo, in fact, let's pull it up, and then just stared idiotly at the center camera, and then just like cut it into the video later. But we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna lie to y'all like that. We ain't got that type of time.
We'll put it in the description for
Right.
you guys to look at it. But you're not gonna see anything pretty. So it's just there's a couple things, and the best way that I can generalize it is two things. One, I think I'm saying this word, machinations of a relationship, and materialism being. For those of you who saw, I'm gonna just summarize it. They were basically just tuffling. Both of them were fighting.
Yeah, over something.
Over something materialistic.
Right.
There goes
Some
the word.
Item.
And just how the mechanisms of that relationship really is behind the scenes, which comes to the ideology of relationships. Dude, going back to my dad. My dad told me one thing, very young. He said, son, if one thing isn't working out for you, don't keep trying to make it better. Try to understand where of your faults, and if those faults aren't in the formula where you can kind of tweak to have a better outcome, bow out and go somewhere else. Though that may not necessarily pertain to relationships, I think it's very important for men to understand that when things ain't working out, bro, it don't matter how good the paper is, bro, just go. Because at the outcome, you're gonna end up looking bad.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that in this situation, the woman was in the wrong. Not at all. On the contrary, I personally think the opposite. But it's important to see how that does to a person once shit hits the fan. Mental health wise.
Right.
Because that can't be that can't be a good thing you got to be going through, right. Especially now that the whole world saw,
bro.
Another thing is materialism, bro. It's just like, bro, you really gonna fight over some Louis backpack or whatever they were
whatever they were fighting over, man. Yeah, because it's like within that video, it's like you see Saweetie swings a hook at him. She swung a rude hook, which is really like, man, I'm glad she didn't land it. But
I don't know where Saweetie's from.
Huh?
You know where Saweetie is from?
I don't know where Saweetie's from. I don't know what that has to do with how
I
she
just
swung
think
that fist.
if she's from New York, she got to really.
Oh, is she from New York?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Man, then you better be glad you dodged that fist, bro, because people from New York built different. People from New York built different. How can you live in a place where you can get blizzards and a heat wave at the same time? How? You got to be built Ford tough. Like,
and I mean, you can understand how Floridians go crazy with this weather,
bro. Oh my God, dude, this weather. I mean, it never really gets dummy cold, but Brant, man, the heat and the meth, it just makes everybody out here. I mean, I think it's probably the heat more than but still.
I think it's the heat.
It's probably the heat. Yeah. But yeah, man. So it's like it's heartbreaking to see that happen, because the weird thing to think is, unless one or both of those people is legitimately what's what I'm looking for, like a sociopathic, unless one of them is like that, they're hurt. That's the thing about relationships, dude.
Yep.
Is that they never break even. And somebody and somebody is always seriously hurt from the ending of a relationship.
Yeah.
And
100%.
And one thing I actually think about too is this YouTube channel I love to watch. It's these two comedians, Ab and Preach, but they talk about topics all the time or whatever. They're another one of my big inspirations for moving this direction. But Ab was referenced before how for really anybody, sexual promiscuity and stuff like that,
yeah,
really comes from a lack of discipline,
mm-hmm.
and you can't control yourself. in those situations, and so you behave in a way that's unbecoming of yourself, and that ultimately you're acting out of weakness. And it's real bad for men because so much of how we're supposed to value ourselves as men is about how many chicks we can get. But no one's really dealing with the fact that, and no one's really learning or focusing on the fact that that is honestly men behaving in a way out of weakness. And because it's
wow.
Dude, and
Bro.
so, and to me, I'm not gonna lie. Now, I personally, from this point in my life, I've never been in a situation where I cheated on a partner.
Never done that.
Which is like, I'm glad that I can say, you know, but like, I've always been afraid because the way people act, people say stuff like, oh, you know, you men are naturally supposed to go out and get a bunch of chicks and stuff like that. And it just never sat right with me because, first of all, I feel like you can't deny how important it is for parents in a child's life. So I believe, like, when you see how there's statistical differences for children whose dads aren't there, kids whose moms aren't there,
right?
You can see those statistical differences. You can't convince me that humans, let alone men, are supposed to be out just like just hitting and
just going monkey style,
right? And because, well, if that was the case, why is there so much psychological damage going from the people that are in those situations, families that don't have that sense of structure and the commitment involved, regardless of the makeup of the family and stuff like that? And you see statistical differences all through it. But Abba's perspective on that, where he said that it really comes from a place of people behaving in a way, and a lack of discipline, really changed the way that I think about it. Because I'm like, first of all, there's always been something in the back of my head that's been afraid, like, man, I don't ever want to put somebody through that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't ever want to be in a situation where I step out on my partner because, I mean, first of all, that's real messed up for me to do to them. That's real messed up for me to do for the family that I establish and all of that. But it also does so much to yourself. And this is one thing that's crazy because I'm thinking about, like, with because cheating's been a big issue in the day. We got that Derek Jackson guy. I mentioned the other time who was going hard on men who cheat, and then got found out, somebody came out on him that he cheated with them, and like then this thing with Quavo and Saweetie, it's like, dude,
it's just insane, man.
It is, and it just it sucks because now I've been thinking, like, and I'm gonna say this, and then we can go on to something else because I've been realizing I'm talking a lot.
No, but keep going because I want to talk about something.
Yeah. Like the thing that I've been thinking about is, man, imagine being that person who, because it's not like I rarely hear about people who cheat on their partner and then it's like, man, well, I came out on top, like everything worked out for me. It's always a destruction, a major destruction of your stability, of your consistency, and it's often, when you think about it, as an action that comes from a place of weakness. It's like, dude, this life you had built, and whatever it was, it has issues because everything does. But all of that getting decimated because you lacked the strength to make the right decision.
You're such a good point because even on that could also apply to people that have been in, like, they're married and they have a family, because if you don't have that structure that you're talking about, it could very quickly look bad on the entire family. That's why sometimes you see kids that even with their mom and pop, they're still lacking something. They're still missing something, you know. There's still something off, and it's, I hate to say it, but it's solely responsible on the parents,
right?
You know,
right.
So going back to kind of like with my advice, my father said, that's what I mean when I say, you know, if it ain't working out, bow out, you know.
Right. And you got to be honest with yourself. But it's even then, and I would say when it comes to, like, relationships and stuff at that point, that perspective, seeing something like infidelity not as something inherent to the human framework that we're constantly trying to battle against, but seeing it as something that comes from a lack of strength makes me go, whoa. So that means that in theory, you just have to make yourself strong enough to withstand that stuff. You have to make yourself strong enough to understand that, this person might have some thick hips, but it's literally in no way worth the destruction of my family and all that stuff because it's like, yeah, but and so what that makes me think is sometimes you got to bow out. Sometimes you got to bow out of some stuff, but then you also got to realize, yo, you know what? Hold on. I don't have to, like, in that sort of situation, you might not need to peace out, because especially when you got a family, you can't just do that. It gets hurt.
Right.
But it might be something that you can go, ooh, let me focus inward and let me build that strength. Because, I know people who, and especially for dudes, we don't treat it right, but I got some people who I respect, who I've realized, like, struggle. Mm-hmm. With infidelity. They be in relationships that they know are good, but then they still they still step out of it. And even they're like, yo, I don't understand why I'm doing this. And so to me, it's sad because we never really look at the person who's the cheater, because we often just kind of imagine that they're like, that they're winning. I even think
it's always a perception, bro.
Right. And the perception is that, well, you got some extra booty. So you got to get all this extra booty, and then now the other person is hurt. And I think we can't lose sight of that. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to be like, yeah, the people who cheat, they're not bad. What I'm saying is, yo, they might not be bad. No, is that they may be bad, but yo, they're probably also super sad, because it's not like they wanted to do that either. Yeah. So I don't know. That's been in my head so much. It's like, and especially when you're in a position like Quavo, where that sort of toxic behavior propagates the hip-hop and rap community and just the ideologies of that, which I'm a big fan of. I love hip-hop. I love rap.
And the most beautiful things that both artists, because I'm a fan of both artists, that they bring to music or to the culture, whatever you want to put it in, they put in some really wonderful pieces of art into... and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just how Gian sees it. Like,
who?
Giancarlo.
Oh, him.
It's just how I perceive it. It's, and we can connect it from what I'm about to say. We can connect it to Kanye. When stuff like this happens,
I feel like everything can connect to Kanye. But go ahead.
That's a whole separate podcast. That's a whole an hour and a half podcast.
Oh, my God. If fingers crossed we can get him. But.
In the name of Jesus.
G-Unit. Anyway.
It's it dilutes the aesthetic, at least for me, or the perception of that craft. Seeing this, having this already out, and the violence and the negativity, I can't help but think that I see the music different, I see the art a bit different, and it sucks, because as a person that loves music and art so much, that is something that is very important to me. Yeah. Is how the people perceive your creativity. Right. And to see, in a lack of a better term, reality come into that world. It sucks. Yeah. It really does suck, because now you're left with the question of, man, is the music really all about that? Mm-hmm. So, I wish them the best. They probably will never hear this podcast. But I'd probably say, man, seek some therapy, man.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, like, I would hope that they're able to hear it in the sea of all that negative that they're both got to be hearing. And I would hope that our perspectives aren't coming off as super negative. And I don't want to seem like I'm trying to, like, be out there for the cheaters. Like,
it's just a shitty situation.
It totally is. And the thing is, now here's the sad thing to me. Whether they both see it or not, it's a shitty situation for both of them. Right. And when I say that I say kind of roundaboutly, but what I mean is, especially for a man who's been told his whole life, as most men are, that your value is increased based off the number of women you're able to sleep with.
That's a problem.
We've been done a huge disservice. And in this example, like, Quavo has been on a huge disservice because Quavo, and I know that's his stage name. I don't know what his real name is. I'm guessing Quavington Jr. Quavington Jr. is he's been done a disservice because of the illusion that people tell him is that he might not be able to realize just how shitty this is for him.
Right.
And that's what sucks. So
That
what
really
I would
sucks.
say is I'm like, I hope that he's able to see how the infidelity is in no way beneficial to him. And all it does is make him less trustworthy to his partners, which means he won't be able to reap he won't be able to gain the endless benefits that you get from legitimate relationships. And it also means that somewhere in there you struggle with being able to trust yourself.
Right.
Because you either fall
100%.
you either fall victim to people being able to, like, someone who's built the right way, shake them little breasts in your face, and
You're gone.
Right, and no matter how hard you try to hold on to what matters to you, you slip it so you can put the keys in the motorboat, and then that was supposed to be funny. Yeah, that was. I'm glad that you laughed because I was like, oh man, it's getting a little deep.
Tough crowd. It's a tough crowd.
Tough crowd tonight, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. We're over here.
It's just and you're on the nail, bro. Like I couldn't have said it better myself. It's just. Man, it just sucks.
It really does.
It just sucks balls.
And no matter how much it looks like it, nobody wins. It'll look like someone is, but nobody wins, man. So
there's still a residue of negativity at the end of the day.
And like I said, man, when you think of it as, when you see infidelity as an action that comes from weakness, it changes the whole thing.
Yeah.
People stop looking cool because they can get these chicks. They start to look weak because they're not able to properly assess value.
Yeah.
And be like, this person means the world to me, and I understand the value of maintaining this relationship. And at some point, I actually have friends who've been personally damaged beyond understanding by situations that sound like they're out of TV, but these are people's actual lives affected by that kind of infidelity, man.
It's a shitty situation, bro. We wish them both the best. I hope you guys get that. Find peace, man.
Find peace.
Not even resolve. I hope you guys find some sort of peace with this resolution, and I hope that your both of you guys' creativity doesn't get tarnished from this, man.
Right. I hope you're still able to share your gifts with the world,
talents, man,
and yourself. And I also hope they're able to hold themselves accountable. I hope that they're both able to go, you know what, man, I messed up. I did something wrong, and I hope they're able to say, you know what, I put up with.
Mm-hmm.
I put up with stuff because I was able to get fooled by the
glam.
By the glam and the perception, knowing this wasn't good.
By the freaking glam.
Yeah, man.